What's up, everybody? This is Scott Porter.
Hi, I'm Rachel Nichols.
Hi, I'm Jason Ritter.
Hi, I'm Brandy Rhodes.
I'm Layla Alizada.
And I'm Noel Fisher.
Hi, I'm Kate Miner.
Hi, I'm Brett Scallions, and let's talk about HD.
This terrible and fatal genetic disorder is passed down from generation to generation.
Every child of a parent with Huntington's disease has a 50-50 chance of inheriting it.
It's described as having ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's all simultaneously.
And there is no cure. Yet.
We are so close to finding one.
But we want everybody else out there to know this, to join the fight, to get involved, to help end this disease.
Join the fight.
Join the fight.
Join the fight.
Join the fight against Huntington's disease.
Join the fight against Huntington's disease.
Because at HDSA,
family is everything.
We're strong, we're survivors, and they can knock you down and make you fall, but we'll get back up, 'cause after all we're born to be fighters. We were born to be fighters. We're strong, we're survivors, and they can knock you down and make you fall, but we'll get back up, 'cause after all we're born to be fighters, and we're fighting for our lives, and we're fighting for our lives, yeah, we're fighting for our lives.
I feel so blessed. If any of you don't know me, my name is Jamie Latin, and I'm so happy to be here again. These are my lovely assistants, Kayla and Anthony. We are live here in North Palm Beach. My connection to HD, I am gene positive. My father and my grandmother both have died from HD. And I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to care for them until their dying days. And I am so driven with this organization. All my friends, all my family know how dedicated I am. I think it's so important to stay connected, especially this year. Going virtual with most of our events, which I'll talk about in a bit, has been good. But HDSA and the resources that they provide, I mean, they matter, they make a difference, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. So thank you all for joining us. If you're going to walk today, if you're going to walk tomorrow, we still have until the end of this year to fundraise and to get more donations. It doesn't end today. If you walk next week, you know, Christmas, whatever you can do, send us your pictures. We'd love to see where you are, what you're doing. So again, thank you to you guys for taking time out of your day to join this call. And then I'd like to introduce Karen, one of the co-hosts today.
Hello. Gosh, I usually am not lost for words. Yeah, thank you for, like James said, my family had Huntington's. My mom died of it, my aunt and uncle, and I lost a sister, and I've got another sister in the nursing home. I was crying all morning today. I wish we got the Huntingtons from taking more of my friends and family, and being here today, y'all are helping me. So thank you. I run the Central Florida affiliate for Huntington's down here in Orlando, and part of that includes the Tampa, the Central, the Center of Excellence we have, and I go all of our Huntington patients, we go there, the doctors, and so we've got social workers and all that stuff. But we have to raise money to keep those things going. And it's been hard this year for the HDSA because money, we didn't raise as much. I know we had to lose some people up there in HDSA. I mean, people had lose their jobs, keeping and like Jamie said, HDSA, if you go on their site, they can help you in every single way you need. And I go on it every week. I'm on that site looking at things that I need, or the support groups are all listed on there. Fundraising, all about what Huntington's is there. And, if you just type in that you want a support group in a certain zip code, it will show you where they are, or they have them on Zoom now. You can do it online. So you don't have to some people who are afraid to this is hard, and it takes a lot out of them to we have a support group here in Orlando. It hasn't been meeting, but I sent a message to Emily, Dr. Stockwell, and we'll find out when the support group is going to start again. And I am not working anymore. So I will go to the tip. That is it. Thank you, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Ritika. I'm another co-host for today. I'm currently a freshman at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and I've done some Huntington's disease research for the past couple of years. I also organize a walk called Strides for Huntington in Melbourne, Florida, which will be continuing for the next couple of years. So if anyone's in town around April, of course, after the pandemic, you should definitely join in. And then now I hand it back to Jane.
Thank you so much, Karen and Ritika. You guys have been an amazing team throughout this whole process. We have been planning this for a while, and certainly 2020 has been one of those years where the planning has been difficult because we didn't know if we would be holding in-person walks this fall or not. HDSA has done an amazing job with transitioning a lot of their programs and a lot of their events to the virtual platform. So I'm really excited to go through some of those events from 2020 so far.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's virtual Team Hope Walk, supporting all of the families in the great state of Florida who are affected by Huntington's. I'm Louise Vetter, and I'm the president and CEO of the Huntington's Disease Society of America. And I wish I was there celebrating with all of you in person and that we weren't doing a virtual event. But the time of COVID-19 means that this is how we connect nowadays. This is how we raise awareness. So today we're going to own it. We are going to shout from our virtual rooftops to help welcome everyone that we know into this fight against Huntington's disease. And I want to thank everybody involved in the planning of this event for your commitment, your passion, and for helping continually champion families affected by Huntington's disease. I know that for the vast majority of you participating in today's Team Hope event, that I don't need to explain Huntington's disease. It's something that you probably know far too well. The family impact of Huntington's disease, the long, slow course of the illness, and just the complicated and ever-changing management of symptoms throughout the progression of one's journey with HD are overwhelmingly difficult and devastating. And at the Huntington's Disease Society of America, our commitment has always been the support of families affected by HD. making sure that folks who need to connect with expert care and support have the ability, even during these wacky COVID times, to find resources and community online and nearby that can provide answers and resources and connections to help them manage HD in the best of their ability for this generation and often for the next. At HDSA, the funds that we raise support these important programs, the education, the community services, including social workers and support groups that folks are turning to and depending on more than ever before. So at a time when so much has changed, and just a simple trip to the grocery store seems like a daring adventure and you don't know if they're going to have the meat or the toilet paper that you're looking for, one thing has remained certain: the commitment, the unwavering stability and ability to connect with families through HDSA. We're not going anywhere. By being a part of today's event, you are helping to make sure that our help programs continue to stay strong. Additionally, you are an incredible part of the engine that is moving HD science forward. Because of your inspiration, HD science and the development of meaningful clinical therapies is moving forward at unprecedented pace. There are now multiple clinical trials for disease-modifying compounds in studies in patients all around the world. It's really a huge accomplishment and a testament to the strength of the HD community globally that we continue to be able to recruit, to fill clinical trials, to be able to get answers about therapies as quickly as possible. So no matter what's going on in the world, the HD community remains strong and committed and forward focused so that we can continue to provide help for today and hope for tomorrow. It's November, and when I think about November, I think about gratitude, thankfulness, and family. And those are three words that always resonate in the halls of HDSA, whether in our office in New York City or virtually right now at our events and our activities that are going on around the country. HD families coming together to support one another has always been the cornerstone of who we are. And especially during this November when we are gathering differently, but we remain steadfast in our commitment. I want to thank you for everything that you do to help us improve the lives of everyone. Team Hope program is a powerful, powerful testament to the strength of families everywhere who know that by coming together, we are stronger. We can support one another and we can change the future. Thank you for everything that you do in this fight against Huntington's disease. Thank you for being a part of today's Team Hope event. I wish you a fantastic walk, whether it's in your driveway or around a parking lot or in a nearby neighborhood. Thank you for being a part of this. Wear your Team Hope shirt with pride and please stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving, stay well, and I hope to see you in person very soon. Have a great event.
That was Louise, and we thank her so much for being here. So I think the next thing on our program today is going to be a recap. Are we ready for that slideshow?
We are. Let me share that. Can you see it okay?
Yes. So we have been so fortunate that all around Florida, families are being recognized. This is just one example of a Huntington's disease family that was highlighted recently in Jacksonville. All of you that are tuning in and watching from the Jacksonville and the southeastern part of Florida, thank you. And if you ever want to be a part of any interview, contact HDSA, because they definitely have the resources to set you up for success, get you in contact with the local media, and help share our stories. So also in 2020 was the Huntington's disease triathlon in Miami. So that was the 29th annual one, which is so impressive and so cool, I think. It was put on by the South Florida chapter, one of the last in-person events that we were actually able to do before COVID-19 affected us going virtual. So if anyone is interested in the triathlon, stay tuned, go to HDSA.org so that you can find out when and what the maybe requirements will be moving forward in 2021. Also, as Karen mentioned, a lot of these support groups have gone virtual. So one that I would like to highlight is the HDSA Center of Excellence at the University of South Florida in Tampa. So this is one of my favorite teams that I've worked with in Florida. You can contact Janelle. So they do not only HD support in general the third Wednesday of every month, but they also do a caregiver support, which is really important. I've been a caregiver. For those of you out there that are caregivers or might be one day, you know, you need to take care of yourself as well. So if you're in that area, contact that team. If you are a little bit more south, the University of Miami Center of Excellence, they also have a support group led by my good dear friend Laura, and that's going to be the third Monday of every month as well from 5 to 7. So if you have any questions, you can send them in the chat and we'll do a Q&A or send out an email with all the questions answered after this call. But there is support out there. So make sure if you're in need in 2020, if you can't get to the doctor, if you can't get to your mental health professional, we will be able to support you virtually. HDSA.org/disability, like I said, if you are having trouble or your loved one is having trouble, then let us know. There's so much help. Sorry, I think someone just started a motorcycle. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But there's so much help at HDSA.org. So HDSA.org/disability. Also, there's mental health counseling, telehealth, and you can get, I think, up to 8 free hours of counseling. So no matter what you're going through, there's always support. Oh, and our convention went virtual this year. It was supposed to be in New Orleans, but it was online. So the good thing about that is even if maybe you're in the position where you weren't able to travel to any of the conventions lately, everything is online for you. So you can sign on, you can listen to all of the health professionals and the other professionals talk about these important issues that we deal with. Social Security, insurance, just general health and wellness, anything that pertains to HD, you can find, again, from HDSA.org and just look up their convention in 2020. In May, we did a Team Hope kickoff. So this was May 23rd, my little sister's birthday, and we had an awesome turnout. all of the other chapters and affiliates in Florida had their own version of this. And this was really just to bring us together and get us excited for this year. Because even though things are different, we are still in need of support. Our community is in need of support. And think of this right now, this call, this walk, as, you know, an end to a great year. Things look different, but they are looking up. One thing that's new this year is something we initiated called Walk Across the Stage. So here's some awesome pictures that people have sent in. We have Valerie Dorr and Matt Boston of North Palm Beach. We have Douglas Delzato in Jupiter, Kayla Deratoni in Miami Beach, my aunt and one of the loves of my life, Dinah in Cape Coral on the West Coast. We also have Tanya and Tarzan, Sanibel Island, representing the West Coast. And then, of course, David Thomas, who has helped me so much throughout the years, and he was walking with us in Gainesville. So please continue to send in your pictures where you're walking. You can use the hashtag Team Hope Walk Florida. You can also go to HDSA on Facebook. We have a South region, we have Florida chapters. So post, please share what you're doing. You know, if you're not walking today, like I said, send your pictures anytime. We're so excited that everyone is involved. Oh, so for all those calling in that are not in Florida, here are some photos to make you extremely jealous. We did a Life in Florida 2020 photo contest. Here are just a few of the beautiful shots that we were happy to look at. I mean, if you look at this, you have sunrise, you have sunset, you have the palm trees, the hammock, the water, the beautiful, beautiful bushes. I know that one in the top corner there with the beautiful orange blooming flowers was at my Aunt Val's house and on the Intercoastal. So you guys send us your pictures. Life is not bad. We live in paradise, and especially anyone that's battling HD, we have to look at the positives, and recognizing the beauty of nature around us is one way to do that. So Florida's virtual scavenger hunt was fun. The first one, my team came in third place, which and Anthony was on my team, so I blame him.
I was there.
And David, you're on the call, I blame you too. And Kayla helped. Kayla helped. I think we would have got fourth if Kayla wasn't on our team. But next year, I hope to do the same event. It was so much fun. We did a bunch of HT related scavenger things, and it was really, 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 really cool. If you notice on this slide on the bottom right is a bracelet from 3 Squeezes, which Laura, who runs a support group for HD in Boca in South Florida, that's a jewelry line that she created. So when her mother was dying from HD, she would squeeze her hand 3 times, "I love you." And she created that jewelry line, and that was really cool to get to include that in my scavenger hunt, because they said something meaningful, like, you know, in the HD community. So that was my something meaningful. So yeah, I think that 2021 really might be a mirror, like a lot of different events in person and online. So look forward to that. And I'm going to get number 1 next time with my partners. So as I mentioned, the University of South Florida is one of our centers of excellence. And Dr. Sanchez Ramos, joined by Dr. Arati, who's new to the team, they do an amazing job every year. I personally have been there, I've spoke there. I'm so grateful for everything that they provide. Their education day, HDA and me, was virtual. and that was last, are we in December yet? No, it's November, October 24th. And then my great friend Jimmy, he gave an awesome speech. There was also some wonderful talk about advocacy. And so if you're in the Tampa area, I strongly suggest you get in touch with their Center of Excellence there. Again, it's USF Tampa. Janelle, Kelly, shout out to them. They are absolutely wonderful. They participated in so many walks that we've done in person. And I think next year, and I think Karen informed me of this, they're going to do it on the campus. So super easy to get to and to find. And we look forward to USF and all they have to offer. Thanks to them. Also an update, HDSA has done a little bit of restructuring during 2020. We want to offer more support to all of our volunteers and all of our participants of the events. So we have combined into one South region, which is Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. I grew up in Chicago, so I feel like I don't have a Southern accent enough to be a part of the South region, but Florida obviously is a lovely, melting pot from wherever you come from. So Florida is happy to join this new South region. And as I said, HDSA.org, you can find the resources nearest you. Oh, so anyone that was able to come to our Inbalance for HD, that was kind of the kickoff for the walk today and get us all focused. The yoga instructor doesn't even do him justice. Michael Mahanger is amazing, just mind, body, soul. He's dealt with diabetes, and he's helped so many people in so many ways. We were so fortunate to have him, spearhead this event. He's also going to talk and give us our walk countdown in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. The University of Miami, another center of excellence, led by Dr. Singer and Dr. Moore, they did their virtual symposium this year. So again, more education, research updates, resources. If you are in the Miami area, please go to the Center of Excellence at the University of Miami, reach out to Letty Ginsburg, to George. They are there for you. And again, they do their support group as well as in-person and virtual clinicals. So if you're in that area, amazing team at your service. So I had the pleasure of being interviewed by the Tampa News, the Bloom edition. It was really fun. I got to talk about the walk. I was actually in Chicago when I filmed it, but it was really awesome to be able to spread the news there. And like I said, if you ever are interested in joining the coalition to just spread the news, let HDSA know, and they'll provide you with any media in your area. And this slide is self-explanatory. Thank you everyone for your support. All of our family, all of our friends, everyone at HDSA, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Losing my father to Huntington's, I have seen the most amazing support. So to friends, to family, everywhere, everyone on this call, we salute you and thank you so much.
Okay, so now it's time for some research updates. So for this, I will be presenting Dr. Amber Southwell. Dr. Southwell is an assistant professor of neuroscience at UCF, the University of Central Florida's Burnett School of Biomedical Sciences. She's been working in preclinical therapy development for HD since 2002. And during this time, she has worked on numerous therapies currently in or approaching clinical trials, as well as developing methods to help assess activity of these experimental drugs in people. Since 2017, Dr. Southwell has been running her laboratory research group at UCF and has been extremely involved in HDSA, leading countless volunteer and research efforts. So I personally had the opportunity of working in her lab over the past 4 years, and I loved my time there. Not only is Dr. Southwell dedicated to research in the field, she's a great role model and believes in training young scientists so they can one day make an impact on the lives of people affected by neurological disease. I'm very honored to call her my mentor, and now I welcome Dr. Amber Southwell to give us some research updates.
Thank you, Ritika. That was a very kind introduction, and it's truly been my pleasure to work with bright young researchers like yourself throughout my career. So I've had my research group here in Florida for just a few years, as Ritika said, but I've been working on therapies for HD for a long time. And in my time, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of other really smart and dedicated people and to work on some very promising drugs that are finally beginning to work their way into clinical trials. So these are really different approaches than when I started working in the field. At that time, the clinical trials I was seeing for HD were of drugs that were aimed at correcting something that goes wrong in HD. So like giving antioxidants because there's oxidative stress in the HD brain. But unfortunately, there's a lot that goes wrong in HD. And these approaches aimed at treating one or a few of them haven't been successful. So I've spent most of my career focused on strategies to actually reduce the disease-causing protein, mutant Huntington. And in my time, I've had the pleasure to work with Ionis Pharmaceuticals on assessing properties of their antisense oligonucleotide or ASO drugs. And now in partnership with Roche, they have completed successfully a safety trial of one of these ASOs that non-selectively lowers both the mutant and the normal Huntington. So this ASO in their trial, it was found to be well tolerated and also importantly found to reduce the mutant Huntington protein in the fluid that bathes the brain. So, you know, in all my trials in mice, we look actually in the brain tissue to see if we've reduced Huntington, but we couldn't do that in clinical trials. So we've developed methods for looking in the spinal fluid around the brain, and it seems to give us some information about the brain, thank goodness. And so far, they have been able to show that they are actually reducing Huntington. And this is now being evaluated in a much bigger global pivotal trial. So the safety trials, they're really just to determine if the drugs are going to be safe or not. And while they can give us some suggestions of how they would affect the actual symptoms or progression of HD, very little. And so there were some suggestions in this trial that it could provide benefit for HD. But now that we're at the pivotal trial stage, we'll be really finding out lots of people, much larger trial, much longer trial duration, carefully investigating the effects of the drug on symptoms and progression of HD. And so this is something that other Huntington lowering approaches will not be able to do for some time. It's very exciting. So this is the first Huntington lowering drug to reach this kind of trial looking at, does it really help HD? So I've also worked on developing a genetic strategy that Wave Life Sciences is now using in order to make ASOs that selectively reduce only the mutant Huntington and leave more of the beneficial normal Huntington protein behind. And they currently have 2 of these ASOs in phase 1 safety trials and another that's in development. And the reason they need to do this instead of just having one drug, the way that Ionis Roche does, is because the genetics, you know, this genetic strategy for only reducing the mutant protein, not everyone has the same genetics for this. So their strategy is to develop a panel of drugs, each of which that would be useful for treating, selectively treating a small proportion, as much as 45, 50% from each drug, but then with additional drugs, with a combinatorial approach, they should be able to get at least a large majority of HD patients. They'll never be able to treat everyone. There are some people who are homozygous for the mutation, and in some cases, people don't have any of the genetic differences that we've developed to target the HD, just the mutant gene from instead of both. So, in addition to these ASO drugs that are delivered into the spinal fluid, I've worked with Unicure Biopharma, who has developed a microRNA drug that selectively lowers, non-selectively lowers both mutant and normal Huntington. And I've helped them determine the effects of this microRNA on the symptoms of HD in mice. And this is now in a phase 1 safety trial. And this trial is a little bit different than the ASO ones because it's delivered by an injection right into the brain. So it's a single surgery, one-time treatment, rather than repeated intraspinal injections like the ASOs. And certainly receiving a single treatment for a lifetime of therapy is very attractive, even if that treatment is a brain surgery. But the flip side of this is that people can't stop taking the treatment if something goes wrong. So they have to be a little bit more cautious in this safety trial, treating one individual at a time, giving it some time, see if anything goes wrong, and then treating somebody else. And so far they're up to 4 patients. Now they've given their drug to 4 patients, and they haven't seen any overt safety concerns. So things are looking good. It's encouraging, and they'll keep moving forward, treating more people. And so in addition to these Huntington lowering approaches that actually use biological molecules like proteins and nucleic acids, there are also multiple companies that are now working on developing chemical drugs that can be taken in pill form to reduce Huntington. And though none of these have reached human clinical trials yet, we have seen that they, at least with some, we've gotten to the point to see that they're able to non-selectively reduce Huntington protein in the brains of HD mice when they're given orally. So this is pretty exciting, though we'll have to wait a little while before those reach people. In addition to these really exciting Huntington lowering therapies that are now in trials or approaching trials, there are a number of other potential treatments that are in preclinical and clinical development. And the goal of most of these is to generally encourage healthy brain function, which could certainly be a benefit in HD, particularly in my opinion, if used in combination with a drug that lowers Huntington. So that combination could reduce the toxicity of mutant Huntington while having a generally neuroprotective drug to help encourage recovery and healthy function of the brain and the cells that are affected by the disease. In this realm, I've had the opportunity to work with Vaccinex in evaluating their therapeutic antibody in HD mice. And so unlike a Huntington lowering therapy, this wouldn't necessarily be something that would be expected to treat every aspect of HD since it's not targeting that root cause. So our work helped to kind of determine what areas of HD, what aspects could be benefited by this generally neuroprotective drug, which aided in the design of the Signal trial, which many of you may be familiar with. And Vaccinex recently reported the results from HD patients taking this drug for 18 months. The results weren't exactly clear. Unfortunately, the trial failed to meet the predetermined criteria that would be for a successful treatment of HD. But there were a lot of things that seemed to be moving in the right direction. So a lot of times in these cases, people will, there will be additional trials that follow. But this trial is actually still going on. This was an 18-month group, and they have a 36-month group, people who are being treated with the drug for a full 3 years. And since HD is such a slow progressing disease, I think it's likely that the longer people are treated, the greater potential for benefit there will be. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this data for people who've been treated for 3 years. If we see some additional benefit to reach that criteria for successful treatment of HD, or if it stays kind of where it is, where things are moving in the right direction, but not overall meeting that criteria. So there's a lot still to come, and as I said, that the Ionis Roche ASO is the only thing that's yet reached a trial to assess the effect of the drug on HD symptoms and progression. But there's a lot more that's coming up, and I really think we need to look at all these approaches. They're all really important. I think it's a really exciting time now that we're finally assessing these drugs that target the root cause of HD. But in addition to these therapeutic trials, there are observational trials that are ongoing now and have been ongoing for some time. And these are trials where there's no drug treatment. It's just a very close observation of the progression of HD in large amounts of people. And these trials, these are the things that tell us how can we actually tell in the interval of a clinical trial in 1 or 2 years if a drug is going to be beneficial for this very slow progressing disease. So these trials are invaluable for us. We wouldn't have such a way to really assess these drugs without them. And we are so grateful to the HD community, those people who are affected by the disease and their unaffected loved ones who have made this enormous contribution to the research of the field, being tirelessly poked and prodded. And this is such an important contribution. I think it's more so than any one HD researcher. It's absolutely invaluable. It's taken a village of researchers and of patients and families and caregivers to get us to this exciting place where we are today. And if we keep working together, I truly believe that we can overcome this devastating disease. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Southwell. I think it's very important to understand the research going on right now. So thank you so much for that again. And so now shifting gears a little bit, I just wanted to thank everyone for their participation this year. And we have some awards to give out. We have some prizes that we will, if you have an award, we will email you afterwards and talk about them. But we have some fun gift cards and wine baskets and things like that. So in case Dr. Southwell has to leave, I'll start with her. We wanted to thank you for, as a scientist, being very involved in HDSA and also sharing research today. So we have something that will be coming in the mail for you later. So thank you, Dr. Southwell.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you. And then we also have some other awards. We have the top individual is Trevor Cope. The most active on social media is for our very own Karen. The most active volunteer is Jamie. And our top team is for Gladys, and we have Jen Hartle for representing that. And we also have the most family donations in honor of loved ones, and that's for Dinah Garrison. So congratulations to all those people, and thank you again for all that you guys do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was an amazing research update. I am consistently so excited when I hear things like that, especially being HD positive. There is so much hope. And for anyone out there that has been recently diagnosed with HD or the gene, anyone that is dealing with a family member, please know there are so many therapies, so many treatments out there right now in the pipeline. I mean, it's looking amazing for us. So please go to HDSA.org, of course. Learn, educate yourself, educate others. That's what this is all about. Again, I'm so grateful. And I want to introduce an Oklahoma singer. So her name is Ken Pomeroy. She's only 16 years old. She's a singer and a songwriter. She began writing at the age of 9, playing guitar at the age of 10. She's pretty impressive. So this is a rising star, and I hope you enjoy her.
Howdy everyone, my name is Ken Pomeroy. I am super happy to be joining you this evening. I'm thankful to be part of this fundraiser for the Huntington's Disease Society of America. Woody Guthrie is a huge influence on me in my life, and I'm just very happy to be here. This song is called Deportees by Mr. Woody Guthrie. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy. Crops are all in and the peaches are rotting. The oranges are piled in their grease-soaked dumps. They're flying you back to the Mexican border. Take all your money to way back again. Goodbye, my one, goodbye, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane.
amazing, 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 amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, I believe we want to give a special thanks to all of our volunteers, to everyone at HDSA. I'm so grateful for everyone's support, really. I know 2020 has just been completely nuts, but we're here. We're live, we're here, we're continuing to help each other. And just because, maybe we can't get out and gather, we can still definitely fund the resources that are so desperately needed for those affected by Huntington's disease. So as a walk kickoff, a special friend of mine and a lover of the HD community, Michael Mahanger, is here, and he is going to lead us through a little deep breathing and talk a little bit about how you get ready to walk, mind, body, and soul. So I'll turn it over to Michael. Thank you, Michael, for being here.
Thanks, Jamie, for inviting me again. Jamie's given me about 3 minutes to go through a breathing exercise with you. For the last 6 months, I've been teaching yoga on Zoom. I've been a corporate trainer most of my life. I have type 1 diabetes, so I know what it's like to deal with a chronic illness. I got diagnosed at 14, and I'm 58 now. So the breathing, and I'm going to put my website on the chat. I just copied and pasted it there if you want to look at what I've been doing for the last several months. But I've been breaking things down into 5 steps. And so what I'm going to do is present a 5-step approach to breathing that you can use anytime, and you can expand upon it. So as we go through it right now, we're going to only spend 20 seconds in each step, and I'll briefly explain the step and give you the breathing technique to use. And then you can always expand it from there. So the first step is simply to become aware of the breathing. Step 1 is all about confronting. It's about the quality of your confrontation and how you want to look at it. In yoga, it's called right alignment. So you want to get directly in line with the breathing. And to do that, all you have to do is become aware that you're breathing. Most of the time, it's on automatic pilot. You're not aware of it. So just become aware of it. And so if you're sitting right now following through and wanting to do the exercise, all you do is just relax into your breathing and just notice it. It's almost like you're the witness. You're becoming the observer. The whole path of awareness is moving from what you're immersed in, what you're subject to getting out of that and becoming and turning what was subject into object. And the more you can do that, that drives growth. So just become aware of your breathing and that you're inhaling and exhaling. The second step in the process, it can be described as exploration. We begin to take control of the breathing now. So take control of the inhale, breathe in through the nose, notice where the top of the inhale is, and then take control of the exhale. Exhale out slowly through the nose, and at the end of the exhale, extend the exhale a bit. So whereas it was on automatic pilot before we started this, now you're in control of the breathing. Now you are consciously breathing. So step 3 in the process is a deeper inquiry, a deeper dive, or in some processes, some cycles, it's called incubation. And here, this is where we start deepening the breathing and holding the breathing. So as you inhale, and I look at this almost like pendulum breathing. Inhale, take a deep breath in, and at the top of the inhale, hold the inhale. Even for a pause, and then exhale, and at the bottom of the exhale, extend the exhale and hold the exhale. Stay empty. So when you do this on your own, you may want to think of it as a pendulum. And in craniosacral therapy, I've had a lot of craniosacral therapy in my quest to heal my diabetes. I mean, the biggest desire I have is to reverse this diabetes. It's an insidious disease, and the sort of the complications is looming over me since diagnosis. And so anyways, so I don't want to go off on that, but let's go into step 4. So step 4 in the process is really an engagement. It's the illumination stage. And I want to introduce a technique. It's a yogic technique, a yogic breathing technique. And all you do is you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose forcibly. And we'll start it with 1 second intervals. So you breathe in 1, breathe out 2. So you go 1, 2, exhale, and then you start quickening that up. So it's like a happy, and you get it, and then go as fast as you can until it's like. Now, when you're doing this particular technique, you want to tighten your face and tighten your grip, tighten your chest, and it's just in and out through the nose. And you do about a 50 cycle interval. And then you just let go. And then the fifth step in the process is allowing. It's the celebration step. One way to look at the 5 steps is that it's a growth process. And so the first step is seed level. The last step is the fruit. And in the 5th step, you let go of the breathing completely and you become the witness. You just watch. You let it go back on automatic pilot and you become the witness and watch your breathing. And then you just cycle back and you become aware of the breathing and you can go through that again. And what I'll do is I'll post my little talk today. Well, you're going to have the recording, but I'm going to also write about my experience talking to you. And it's always a pleasure to work with Jamie and to help with what we're confronted with. The last time I did the yoga class and we talked about the grief process and how that's a 5-step process, and you can match this up, and you can see in my blog section I write about this. So thanks. I hope you have a good walk.
Michael, thank you so much for being here. You are a true gem, and I can't wait to see you. I'll be back on the west coast of Florida tomorrow, so we better get together. Thank you to everyone that participated today. Karen, would you like to say anything that we haven't covered? Or Ritika? Anyone?
Mine is really quick. I just want to say thank you to everyone, because I know especially how hard it can be during the pandemic to reach out to people online and make that effort to talk to people. But I think it's really important. I'm really glad so many people could come on, and hopefully we'll watch this video later, because just talking to someone can really make a difference. So thank you everyone who participated and is still trying.
Thank you so much. Yes, you've been an integral part of this process. Thank you to my volunteers and my friends and my family. Thank you to Melissa. Thank you to HDSA. I just want everyone to have a great Team Hope walk. So wherever you are walking, whenever you are walking, we are doing this together. We are a community. Even though things, like I said, are a little bit different this year, look forward to 2021 as well. Continue walking, continue fundraising. If you have any questions, please call me, please email me. I am here at your disposal, and if you want to do any events, we can do more fun events, virtual. Like I said, the scavenger hunt was so much fun, and then we're going to have a lot to look forward to. So here is the official walk kickoff.
Yeah, I'm lost inside my head. Took a wrong turn, now I'm working on it. But I ain't looking for sympathy. Just want you to know you can relate with me, and you're not alone. Stay woke, stay woke. When the walls are caving in, and speak up. When you need a friend, and stay humble.
All of us here at CHDI, we're part of the family.
For your friends, let your mind be free.
We are part of the family.
We are part of the family.
I am part of the family.
Let your mind be free. You can keep building yourself a wall, 4 sides tall, so no one calls. Crawl in a hole instead of dialing the phone, convincing yourself that you're all alone. You're not alone. Stay woke, stay woke. When the walls are caving in, and speak up. When you need a friend, and stay humble. Stay humble. Love is all you need. Keep your eyes for your friends.
Hi.
We are part of the family.
We are part of the family.
We are part of the family.
I am part of the family.
We are in the family.
We are part of the family.
We're a part of the family.
I am so proud to be part of the family.
We are part of the family.
We are part of the family.
From Genentech and Roche.
We are part of the family.
I am part of the family. Let's be HD.
Stay woke, stay woke. When the walls are caving in, and speak up. When you need a friend, and stay humble. Stay humble. Love is all you need. Keep your eyes for your friends. Let your mind.
We are part of the family. We are a part of the family.
We are part of the family.
I am part of the family.
We're part of the family.
We are part of the family.
We are part of the family.
Let your mind be free. Stay humble. Stay humble. Let your mind be free. Stay woke. Stay woke. Mind be free. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your mind free.
No, I just wanted to thank everyone again for participating, and all my friends, all my family, the HD community, HDSA for providing us the support, Melissa, Mikal, who is having a baby right now. Shout out to her. Thank you all. And just let me know if there's anything that you want to get involved in. We're going to do a lot here for the whole community. So, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We may have a video, we may not, but.
I think it said they'll email it out.
Okay, we'll email it out. You guys, thank you. Go walk. HDSA.